I'm Laia, and today we're going to be wrapping up the month with a little bit of gratitude, recapping the month, as well as movement. Go ahead and gather anything that you may need for practice today. What I have behind me is yoga mat, blanket, 2 blocks, and also a notebook and a fountain pen, because I'm a fancy person and I write with fountain pens. You can write with whatever you want. You can also choose not to write anything. It is the end of the month. I like to take some time at the end of the month to wrap it up. And it can be as simple as being like, oh, it's August 31st. Tomorrow's the 1st. Gotta get my shit together. Which, yeah. Or I can be a lot more intentional. And even though some of the questions that I may be asking myself are not the most comfortable to answer, I find it very helpful in order to be more aware as I move into the next month on where have I been falling short, procrastinating, where have I been thriving, and I make sure that I come back with a good balance of the two, because in reality I'm not all the time really good and all the time really bad, right? I'm somewhere in between. So taking time at the end of the month to reevaluate and to be grateful, I find it to be very helpful. So that's why I suggested that if you want to, you could have a journal, pen and paper. If you are someone that likes to type on your phone, that works too. There is actual scientific benefit to putting brain to hand and paper and writing. And so that's why I find that beneficial. That's why I do it that way. But you do you, my friends, as always. If you don't have any props, that's okay. I will be offering different options for the things I will be doing throughout the practice. So whether you have props or not, you'll be able to adapt it to what you need. So bring yourself to your yoga mat, to a seated position, and if you do have your notebook, maybe you take some time to open it up and put it on maybe a blank page, or however it is that you journal, that's up to you. Just so that you have it ready in case that you wanted to take notes at any point, or there's inspiration that comes through, or maybe you just want to doodle at some point. That's also a very valid thing to do. But the intention today is to give ourselves some time to settle, to reevaluate, and to reset, because you've been doing a lot of things and it's time to pause and see where you're at before we move forward. So bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. Maybe let your hands rest on your lap or your knees. Take a moment to roll your shoulders down, move your neck from side to side. And eventually just start to bring yourself to stillness. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling your belly, your rib cage, your chest. And out through your nose or your mouth. Again, inhale to fill up and expand. Exhale to soften and relax. One more just like that. Inhale, doesn't matter how deep the breath is, just let it be a little bit deeper than the one before. And let it go. Let yourself settle into the moment, noticing the way in which you're seated. Noticing the support beneath you and around you. And taking a moment also to hear the sounds of the world, people, nature, whatever it is. Becoming fully aware of where you are right now. Even if your mind has lots of opinions about it, it's okay. Just notice, where are you starting from right this moment. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Again, inhale. Fill up your lungs. Let it be expansive as you can. Exhale. Noticing the sensations in the body as the breath expands and contracts. letting the air go in and expand into every little corner, every fiber of your being. And let the exhale soften you, even if it's just 1%. Notice where your mind is, your thoughts. Where are you placing the focus? What are you allowing to take up space and be important? Do you find yourself ruminating about events of the past? Things you did or didn't do? Or perhaps you find yourself concerned and worried about things of the future. What could happen, what may happen, what you don't want to happen. And just let yourself take kind of a step back. The mind does what it does. Let it. But recognize any time that you can, and as many times as you need to, that you're not the thought, and that you only need to follow it as far as you want to before you return to the inhale and the exhale. Start to expand your capacity for nudging yourself between the past and the future. Letting yourself be right here, right now. Let it be enough. Let yourself be enough. Deep breath in through your nose. Expand it front to back, side to side, top to bottom. Maybe hold at the top, feeling this abundance, this reaching the end of the month. Open your mouth and let go, releasing, softening, and grounding. If it resonates with you, bring one hand to your abdomen, and the other hand perhaps to your heart. Remain as connected to the breath as you can. As connected to this moment as you can. Whether you feel a sensation on your hips or an itch on your nose, notice your capacity for just being here, just for this breath. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Release your hands, lift them out and up. Inhale. Interlace your hands, flip your palms up toward the ceiling and stretch up. Maybe your gaze lifts. Exhale, release your hands. Maybe bring them in front of you and let yourself fold forward a little, relaxing your head down. Take a moment to move your head yes and no. And yes and no. Stop the movement as you draw your hands back toward your thighs or your legs. Relax your shoulders, lengthen your spine. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice how you feel right now. Notice your breath right now without needing to label any of it. And perhaps from here, I invite you to take yourself back now. Visualize. Maybe you take yourself to the beginning of the month, or perhaps you don't remember the beginning of the month. That's okay. Bring yourself to the beginning of the week or the day, or however far you want to go. And I invite you to consider a highlight. Something that made you go, yes. That made you celebrate, even if it was just with that one yes, or a pump of the fist, or a big smile on your face. Let yourself feel that energy. Let that energy fill you. Deep breath in. Long, slow breath out, maybe sighing out with sound. Inhale, take your arms out and up. Interlace them, flip your palms up, stretch. Maybe gaze up. And as you exhale, slowly release your hands. This time bring them behind your hips. Press through your palms, lift your chest. If you'd like to, you could also lift your hips up a little or a lot. It's up to you. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, come back to a regular seated position. Now, if you thought of a highlight of your week or your month and you want to write it down, feel free to write it down. And then slowly, you can bring your feet in front of you, a little bit wider than your hips, and start to move your knees a little bit side to side, creating some movement through the legs, the hips, even the torso and the shoulders a little bit. One more inhale and exhale. Slow down the movement and start to bring yourself to hands and knees. So if you have your notebook, you can keep it nearby. Again, you could take notes at any point that you want to, if that feels like something you want to do. And as you come to hands and knees, if your knees are sensitive, I invite you to use a blanket and bring it under your knees, or you could also double your mat. You could fold it sideways, or you could pinch it and fold it over itself. But either way, just bring yourself about hip distance, your knees about hip distance apart, and your hands right underneath the shoulders, pressing through your fingertips. And start to create just a little bit of movement side to side here, as you reconnect with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose or your mouth. One more inhale. And exhale. Pause at the center. Tuck your toes under. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, start to shift your weight back toward your heels. And you may start to feel the sensation awaken through the feet, also through the legs. So if you want to increase the sensation, walk your hands closer, or perhaps move your hips a little side to side. You could also bring your hands all the way to your thighs, lift your chest, but consider that that may bring you into a little bit more discomfort. So this is a great place to notice, what is your capacity for discomfort right now? Not just because of how you feel right now, but because of the accumulation of whatever physical activity you've been doing. Whatever you've been doing in your life lately. So notice, what is your capacity for discomfort right now? And be with it or come out of it whenever you need to. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Shift your weight forward, bring your hands to the ground, lift your toes off the floor, and you could move your ankles in circles one way or the other. Or if where you are, you can make sound and you feel like it, maybe you tap your feet to the floor. And that may feel good to release some tension from the legs as well. One more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, stop. Move your hips side to side again, breathe in. And breathe out. Feel free to keep your blanket under your knees or move it out of the way. It's whatever is best for your body. And start to bring your big toes to touch and your knees wide as you send your hips back toward the heels, or bring a block between the heels and the sitting bones and sit on that instead. Or you could also bring your block in front of you and take your forehead down to the block or to the floor. Feel free to extend your arms forward or bring your hands by your feet. And allow a little bit of gentle movement to happen from side to side if that's supportive for you. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, press yourself up. Start to shift your weight forward toward your abdomen. And as you do so, make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead down. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Find extension through your entire body. Inhale, breathe into the back body. Exhale, relax toward the earth. Welcome yourself in a release right now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows toward the sides of the ribcage. Keep your gaze forward or down. And on your inhalation, press into your palms, press into the front body and lift your chest. Engage your back body. Exhale, slowly lower. 2 more like that. Inhale to peel your chest off the floor, lifting into cobra. Exhale to lower. 1 more inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Extend your left arm out to the side. Bring your left ear to the floor. Right hand remains under your right shoulder. Bend your right knee. Inhale. Exhale, press and roll toward the left. Keep your head on the ground. Stay here or send your right arm up. Breathe in. Breathe out, keeping the palm facing the sky. Maybe your arm opens a little bit back. 1 more inhale. Exhaling yourself down. Let your right knee slide to the side so you come to the inner right thigh and make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead down. Inhale. Exhale. Extend your right leg behind you next to the left. Hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest off the floor. Exhale, lower. This time bring your right ear down. Extend your right arm as little or as much as you have space for or you want to. And keep your left hand underneath your shoulder as you bend your left knee. Breathe in. Breathe out, roll toward the right side. Maybe your left foot plants behind your right leg. Keep your left hand in front of you for leverage, or if you want to, on your inhalation, extend your left arm up. Stay here or let it open back, opening through the body a bit, noticing what happens. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand in front of you, and as you roll back toward your abdomen, slide your left knee toward the side, coming onto your inner left leg. Make a pillow with your hands, forehead down. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Extend your left leg next to the right. Hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest for cobra. Exhale, this time bring your hips back. Stay here in tabletop, or if you rather, tuck your toes. Lift your knees and send your hips up and back for downward facing dog, coming into this inverted V position. And I invite you to bend your knees deeply here so that you create length from your fingertips through your arms, the sides of the body, and all the way up to the hips. But your belly rests toward your thighs more. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to extend your legs as you propel forward, shifting your body toward a plank, rippling your spine 1 vertebra at a time. Lower your knees to the floor here. Inhale. Exhale, rotate your inner elbows forward. Squeeze your elbows to the side body. Lower down to your abdomen. Point your toes back. Flatten out your entire body. Hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, press into your hands. Hips back, tabletop, or if you rather, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe your knees bend. Maybe they remain a little bit more extended. Depends on the sensation you're seeking. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, ripple your spine forward as your legs extend. Come into a plank or knee plank. Breathe in. Now breathe out. Lower your left knee to the floor. Pivot your right heel toward the left side. You can stay here or grip through your left hand, and as you inhale, start to take your right arm up. Your gaze could stay down or start to turn it to the side or follow your hand. Exhale, lower your right hand, find yourself in a plank once again, or a knee plank. Breathe in. Breathe out, right knee down, left leg extended. Pivot your left heel to the floor, stay here. Or on your inhalation, start to take your left arm up, maybe your gaze follows. Exhale, lower your left hand down, find yourself in a plank or knee plank. Up to you. Inhale. Exhale, you can lower knees, chest and chin, or if your knees are lifted, maybe you lower down in one piece for 5, 4, 3, 2, you got this, float. Inhale, lift your chest, open up through the front body. And as you exhale, bring your big toes to touch, knees wide on the ground.